This is Ithaca from SoaringHammer.com, and doing a video for Greg. Greg is the guy who bought a suit off of us. And please be advised, this is going to be the last suit that's coming out from Soaring Hammer for quite some time. Alright, as far as Halo goes, and I'm going to get that on another video. We have the resin helmet for you. This is the Mark 6 helmet. This is not a Soaring Hammer product. This was one I had floating around here for quite some time, and it's an awesome cast. It's a good bucket. We need neckline trim, visor trimmed out, lights put in, padding put in, etc. Okay, so chest and back, we upgraded from the flex foam chest and back, went with a resin chest and back. The chest is actually one I've had sitting around my house for about, wow, 3 years. It's a Tim Wynn chest plate that he'd given me way back in the day. So this is a Tim Wynn chest plate. It will need to be trimmed, the edges trimmed up, things like that. But other than that, Tim's always had one of the best chest plates out there. But I've had it sitting around my house for quite some time, so I figure I'll let it go to you. All right. The back plate is not Tim Wynn, but it does line up with the Tim Wynn chest plate, and the sizing is about the same. This is actually a Soaring Hammer one. And so that's your resin parts there, along with a few other resin parts such as the hand plates. The hand plates are always resin because they have to be fastened to the gloves. One there and one over there. Your side pouches need to be fastened to the belt, so they are also resin as well. Alright, everything else is flex foam at 25. We have the shoulders, gauntlets, thighs, cod front, cod back, and shins, and boots. And now I'm going to explain a few things for you. Flex foam is nice because it bends to your body. It's got a good contour to it. You can see it's got a lot of movement. Okay, when it comes to painting these things, I would definitely use acrylic paints. Do not use any spray can paints. Acrylic paints will rub off in certain rub spots of your armor, like thigh area, where the boot meets the shin, things like that. But you know, 15 minutes after a convention, and gets fixed with acrylic paints, and it does not chip and crack and peel. So that's my suggestion for you. A few things keep in mind is, I don't know your body size, so I trimmed them up, but left certain areas thick and lengthwise. I don't know how tall you are, so certain areas you can adjust with an X-Acto knife, a razor blade, or a steak knife. For example, the insides of the shoulders, I didn't leave them too thick, but left some thickness here, so I trimmed most of it down, but left it thick enough that if you're a skinny guy, they won't be flopping around on your arm. Now if you're a bigger guy, you come inside here with an X-Acto knife or a razor blade, and you can trim all that stuff down and thin out the inner portion of the bicep. Same concept with the gauntlets. You can trim it down from the inside. Butt plate and cod would not need to be trimmed at all. Same thing with the shins. If they're too thin, you can always add padding inside, standard like insulation liner or some foamy stuff on the inside of the parts that might be too big on you. So if you're a smaller guy, you can actually bulk them up as well. Same concept with the boots. The only thing I cannot do for you with the boots is they go up to like a size 10.5, over 10.5, meaning that they'll go over your sneakers. But if you go further than that, you might have to actually cut here and here and extend it out yourself, refasten it to the front of your boot, and then this will still slip on the back of the boot. That's for anybody above like a 10.5 sneaker. You can reduce the size of the sneaker by going with like swimming shoes, because they're a lot closer to your foot. Flip-flops if you really wanted to. What else? Those toe sneakers, toe weightlifting shoes, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, onward. So the thighs, now here's where I left it up to you. The thighs themselves are long. Okay, so what you can do, what I do, since I'm about 5'9", 5'10", I vary depending on the day. Yeah, not even a joke. So what you can do with the thighs is, if they're too long for you and you find that the lower portion of the thigh is hitting the shin, you can just trim upward here, and you can actually cut the sides flat. So it moves this detail upward. Most people have to do that because they're smaller. If you're over 6 foot, you shouldn't. I don't think you should have a problem with that. But that can be. This is why I like flex foam it too. Is you can actually modify the parts to fit you. Plus, when they do interlock, you don't get armor lock because of the mobility of, or the flexibility of the flex foam at 25. Well, you'll never have armor lock when you go to reach for your helmet. When your gauntlets hit your biceps, which is a common thing to happen, you won't. It's not a hard hit, so you will be able to reach your helmet without any issues. Let me know if you have any questions on any installation stuff, the webbing, things like that. You'll have to buy, like I suggest, like a military style or police style belt, the nylon belts, to mount all this stuff too. You'll need some Chicago screws and washers for all your installation. Boots don't need anything, shins don't need anything, gauntlets don't need anything. Helmet, you'll need the visor, which means motorcycle visor or welding visor. LED lights, if you want to put them in there. Fan, if you want to put it in there. Padding I buy at Walmart. The shoulders, you'll put a Chicago screw to the top right here to a nylon strap with a buckle, same as the other one, and it will cross up over your shoulders and buckle in the center of your back, between your right above your shoulder blades. So that's how that'll be done. Hand plates, you will put a small hole here, not all the way through, but here and here. Put the male end of the Chicago screw in the holes, fill with Gorilla Glue, and that will hold those 2 Chicago screws in just right. Mark it on your gloves, put the holes in your gloves, and then they will fasten. Sorry, I'm getting dead grass. I'll clean these up, getting grass all over your stuff. Then they'll mount to the gloves with the Chicago screws. I've also seen people just do an elastic strap, hot glued here and here, and then they just put it on with an elastic strap to the glove as well. Thighs, you can actually put a Chicago screw or 2 through here, or even through his detail right here. Using washers, of course, because you don't want the Chicago screw head to pull through the flex foam. And then you have a strap running up with a buckle on it. And then on that belt you use for here, you have the other piece of strap hanging down with a buckle on it. And then this will actually connect to the belt you use for your thighs. Pretty simple. You do a nylon strap with a Chicago screw from here to here. And you can do the same thing across the bottom to the bottom if you like. Other than that, that's pretty simple. A lot of 1-inch nylon strapping, 1-inch buckles, the plastic buckles. Chicago screws probably about anywhere from 3/8 inch. No, I'll probably go with about a 1/2 inch Chicago screw. Washers for them. Gorilla Glue, hot glue for any padding put in. Pretty standard stuff, really easy to come across. The assembly and the painting, depending on how detailed you want to get with your paint scheme, definitely under a week. If you can dedicate man hours, you could probably get it done in a day. And that's not even a joke. Well, I can do about 8 hours, but that's different. I've done these quite a bit. So this is the last kit coming from Soaring Hammer. Enjoy it, and remember, if we can do it, so can you.